Where's the remote? Found it.
Turn off the lights.
All right.
Did you grab the drinks?
Yeah, I got them.
Okay, I'm making the popcorn.
It's starting. Come on.
All right. Okay, I'm here. Hit the button. Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm Gianna. And welcome to the We Watch It All podcast, where we watch it all and give you our opinions.
AKA the opinions no one ever asked for.
You know what I just thought of? You
What?
know how I'm always like, oh yeah, the cashew has never seen us enter our apartment. They don't really have a good look at us that well. Girl, we just shout our names right out every time we do this podcast, and we record like a bunch of them.
Oh, there's not much we could do about it. Hold on. I'm scooching in. Hold on. Cracking bones.
All right, well, that's not what we're talking about. We're
No,
talking
we're not.
about Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 13, Episode 2, Family.
Oh, you know, this time I did not get the title.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, 3 families. Family. You know, it's Teresa's classic. I'm all about family.
No, she's got to let it go.
Drop it, girl.
Gotta let it go.
You're not about it.
Let it go. What? Before we get into it, though, do you think it was better than the previous week, at least? Do you feel like you're like, okay, I have hope
had that
for
down
it?
in my notes. Let me just check here. I didn't make my notes big enough. I couldn't see it.
Well, you can make that
Yeah,
little
okay.
paragraph pretty big, I think, if you want.
Stop. Yeah, no, I thought it was better, but you know what? Here's the thing. You have to keep in mind, first episodes for every show, even if it's their 13th season, are always going to be slow because it's the setup. Like, this is what's happening
But I
this
don't
season.
feel like they set us up.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the problem.
It was less of a setup for us and a setup for them.
I guess. Yeah.
More so, like, you know, meet up, go to Melissa's party. Okay, now you can set up the lunch with Marge. You could set up the thing with Dolores, and all that. Really, I guess it was more of a setup for that. But yeah, it was better. I mean, this one, considering it was not the 75-minute action-packed episode that they were talking about, and this was just a normal episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I think that was the other issues too. Is you went into last week going, 75 minutes.
you thought you were going to be like...
Oh, like there were
Yeah.
like, you know, like we
No.
were watching the christening thing episode.
No,
again.
nothing.
No,
And
not
still
at all.
no taglines.
No taglines. Usually it's by episode 2.
I don't know.
The only thing I could think though is we talked about this. We said that last week. Which one's the blonde one? Rachel? Danielle.
Yeah.
Last week Danielle had her whole introduction episode.
Yeah.
And
Clearly
this week was
a little more
was
Rachel.
Rachel. So I think they might have been waiting to do like a
Although
good introduction with Rachel, but
I feel like they thought they were doing an introduction with Rachel, but I'm not too sure.
no,
We'll
really,
get to
but
that.
no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think
definitely more.
So maybe next week we'll get them because usually they do the taglines because what they do is episode 1 is like introducing you to the new wives, and then episode 2 they'll give you those taglines. But like, I think that we could have got them this episode.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, it picked right back up with the fight between Dolores and Jennifer. I mean, like, it ended with, and I'm kind of glad it did because I have to be honest. When I remember I asked you about it when she was in the car with Bill. I thought she was telling him, "Stop looking at me" or something. But
Yeah, stop looking at me.
No, but she said she didn't say that. She said something about stop giving me that look or something like that. Yeah, she said stop giving me that look. Like, you know, when someone looks at you,
Yeah.
like, oh, come. But I thought she was telling him, like, to literally stop looking at her, like, but
I
no.
thought the subtitles wrote "Stop looking at me."
I don't know, but it could have. But the second time when I watched it back, I heard her say this week, stop looking at me like that, or something like that. Like
Speaking of subtitles, somebody on TikTok noticed that I have not seen it here, but on one of the episodes of Potomac, the subtitles are messing up on Peacock. So instead of when they say beep or they censor something out like a location
They
or
write
something,
it?
the subtitles are still writing it.
Oh, my.
Because there was somewhere I can't remember what they said it was in Potomac, but this girl said something. They censored her mouth so you couldn't try to figure it out.
Oh.
But the subtitles wrote it
Still
out, and
caught
the
it.
girl looked it up, and she's like, "Yeah, no, this is near them. This location."
Oh, my.
Which is interesting. Like, I think somebody said there was some big scandal in Potomac. They're like, you got to go back and try to figure out who this person is to see if it's there. But I'm sure that will probably be taken care of quite quickly. But I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after the fight, they finish the fight, and then it starts with the next day. They show Danielle and her son and husband, and I'm sorry, but I really think that family is cute. I don't know, something about them is like...
My favorite, though, was in the first episode, she was like, yeah, I have my hands full with that daughter. I gotta reel her in. But the son is just as crazy.
I think he's just quirky. I think the daughter's going to be rebellious. But I think at first I thought, like, oh, is she really acting? Because she was a little over the top, but I don't think so. I think
that's
this is
just
exactly
her.
who she is, exactly who her family is. They're very authentic. Like, there's a thing that she says when she goes to Jennifer's house where she's like, I'm not afraid of them breaking anything. I'm just afraid of them breaking my balls that they'll want a house like this. Like, it's just some of the
Oh
stuff
yeah,
she
and
says
she
is
brought
so
up
funny.
the well, I guess we could wait till they go to her house.
But
to
she's
mention
just
that
so,
comment,
some of the
but-
stuff she says is funny. And then, of course, it goes to Jennifer's daughter. Wait, Jennifer's
Ooh.
daughter acting fresh.
Oh yeah, Jennifer Aiden's daughter.
Jennifer
She's
Aiden,
making
yes.
a comment about the nose or something.
Yes, she's very fresh. And I wrote separately, of course, because they do get together later. But she's like, yeah, but this is my natural nose. And
Yeah,
then she
I
comes-
think those kids are catching on to that they're on camera
Oh,
now. Like I
without-
think they
especially
fully got
that
it.
one. That one's got it.
Yeah.
She was always a little bit, I want to say, aware of the cameras, that kid, because
Yeah.
even like when things would go on, she would like cry a little more and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
well, when they get together, I even told you when what's her face and Jennifer meet up, they have their kids meet up together. I said if you look, Jennifer's not the oldest daughter, the one that we're talking about, that daughter she was the only kid that had a mic pack on her back. You could see it sticking out of her shirt. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe they like granted her this season like the mic pack, like a level up. So now she's like, damn, I'm mic'd.
like she could be like
now
the
she gets
Melania
it.
of the group and stuff. Like,
yeah.
because she is at that age. That's the
That
age,
is
like
the
that 9
age.
age where they, God knows what they're gonna say. But and then she came back down with her outfit, like, look how I look. But it's, I think, to me, she is her mother's daughter to a T. She says exactly what comes into that head and doesn't filter. And she's gonna be just like her mom. God bless her. God bless her. You got one saying a curse word and the other one acting like she's just her mother. I don't know. That's just. I don't know. This is crazy. Nothing beat though Marge, because then they go to Marge, showing her in the doctor's office. Now she's dealing with the wrist.
Yeah, with the-
Nothing beats Marge trying to negotiate a shorter cast time for her broken wrist. I'm sorry, Marge. They're bones. They heal. It's not like...
There's gonna be an episode where you have like Marge in her garage with like a handsaw, like going zzz down the cast trying to cut it off.
The worst part was... The funniest thing is that the doctor starts like to go along with her in a way.
I think it's just so he's like can get
he's
her
like
out.
maybe four and a half. But like she's like, oh, I'm a fast healer. I'm like, Marge, you cannot bargain with a cast. Like, I don't know what you're doing. But
I just feel like, you know, what's the
But
worst
it's
part is I
very
feel like
Marge.
she'd have like she'd put like little jewels all over her cast, like
well,
like,
she still
flinging out.
could, but it's hot
But-
pink and black or something.
No, I know,
swear.
but I'm just saying. I feel like she would so be that person, and she doesn't. I mean, from what I know now, she doesn't have anything on there.
No, I don't think so. But she's a character. I'm like, oh my god. And then you see Teresa, which you noticed. I didn't even notice that she was talking to Louis' assistant.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I thought he lost his job and stuff like that at the end. Remember,
Either
he made
way,
a big
like,
comment
why
about.
would he need an assistant?
I don't know, but
like,
this is his assistant, and she's helping with the wedding invites. And I've heard many comments about it. She just looks like a piece of caramel. Like candy, like, or a tree trunk or something.
Oh my
I know people are
God.
saying that all over the place, that they do not like this tan of hers, that it's like just too much, it's over the top. I mean, you don't think her sit downs, that tan was like out of control?
no, it's not good.
I mean, it's absolutely, and like somebody else was saying, oh, the men too are tanning too much. That's why they have the red face. So I was like, oh, is that why their faces are red?
But when you tan, no color really is like
No,
red.
but if you're tanning in a tanning booth, it can get that way.
Oh, okay.
So,
maybe
because that's what they were like. Is it a spray tan? Do you think they're doing, or I don't know?
Well, I
but
could see the guys
you can
being
only
more
layer-
into
you-
like a tanning booth.
Yeah, you can
than,
only
like, a
layer
spray
so
tan.
much though with a spray tan too. Like it doesn't. But I guess you can get the really dark one. I don't know. Whatever she's doing, it ain't right.
Because here's the thing: when you look at her and like Dolores, you can tell that Dolores's color is more natural, or
Yeah,
more like
I
she's
think-
been out tanning, like
but
out in the sun.
I think Dolores
where, like,
has
she's
more
getting sprayed.
of the darker Italian skin than Teresa does.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
her
don't
and
remember if you look like in the beginning seasons.
No, they
do
were
not.
very white.
Yeah, very pale. Not as.
Her and Joe Giudice are that lighter color Italian, like where it's not. It's just they've got that pale skin, but that I guess would tan, but they definitely have a lighter skin. I don't know. It's just. But she just keeps talking about how the wedding.
Yeah, my favorite thing with the wedding though was when she sat down with the planner. She goes, yeah, okay, now it's like I'm ready to start planning. I'm like, are you now ready because it's starting to film the season?
Mm-hmm.
The season's filming. The lady's like, okay, you ready? And she's like, yeah, now we can start. And it's like, okay, obviously you're waiting for the cameras.
She says she wants everything to be over the top. She wants Cirque du Soleil dancing around or something like that.
I mean, I will say she probably got it.
Oh no, I think
For
she probably
sure.
did too.
From the clips I've seen.
But she's
from
like, she
social
wants
media.
people to say, "What is this? What's going on?" And I'm like, I wrote that too. I think she was successful at it because it sounded like it was a crazy ass thing that went on at that wedding.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why would you want people to be like, "What the hell is this?" Like, I don't know. It was just weird to me.
Like, she wants people to feel like they're having a fever dream when they walk into her wedding, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's pretty spot on there.
I don't know. I mean, her invitations were cute. What she did, I thought it was a nice idea with the fresh flowers underneath a glass like plate. God knows how much that must have cost. I mean,
lot.
insane. And if you're giving
No, it must have been a lot because remember she said when Ramona leaked the thing, she said, "Should we reissue them?" And they said no. Like,
well, they said no, they wouldn't.
Well,
no, they said they wouldn't be able to get it in time either. That
Yeah.
was part of the problem because I guess obviously that was special ordered. I mean, I don't know. I think that's kind of silly because nobody saves the invitation, whether it's glass, plexiglass, whatever the hell that was, or paper. Nobody
Imagine Teresa went over one of the like invitees' house and they were like using the glass tray like
the
like
girl
for
Danielle
like to put
used
the flowers.
the
No,
flowers,
the flowers. But
yeah.
I'm saying like like how we have that glass plate like it's
Oh,
a
it's
cutting
like a
board.
trivet,
Like they
yeah.
were using it like that, like a coaster.
Yeah.
Just like, are you using my invitation as a coaster?
Yeah, as a cutting board.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. Come on
Do
now.
what you gotta do. But it was interesting because I can remember us watching the music awards that when they were presenting the Housewives.
I don't know if I watched.
We
that
didn't
one.
see it, but we heard about it and we knew they were supposed to be. We had just missed it, I think, and we were like, oh, they were all supposed to be on there. Teresa and Melissa were supposed to be presenting in Los Angeles together, and I guess nobody realized that they weren't talking. And
Well, yeah. What are you gonna?
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
And it was kind of sad because apparently their beef is all over the engagement party and where they sat.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It's like that, and then on top of that, that led to Teresa not putting her in the wedding, so now they're upset that they're not in the wedding.
Listen, I can relate to that because I remember at an event that I was at with family, I did not sit by the family that I should have sat by at Dean's christening.
Oh,
We were all the way at the other end, and like my brother and them were all the way at the other end, and I was like, well, why are we so far away? It was just,
I don't remember this. I was
you were little. It was just weird. I mean, I didn't make a big deal out of it, but a couple of people that were at our table were making a big stink
Really?
about it. Sure, they were, but it was weird. So I could see but I think at an engagement party, Melissa and George.
Joe.
George, who is George?
Maybe you're thinking of like
Gorga
Gorga
and George. Maybe.
I don't
Maybe
know.
I'm just renaming him because there's too many Joes. But I do think that they should have sat at.
Yeah, it's our
mean,
only brother. Like that's
yeah.
that's the whole thing that they always go on is like that's like your last relative. Then he should be sitting with you.
And here's my thing: if she hates Melissa and she loves her brother, then just do. I mean, I would just do whatever I had to do to make my brother be there.
But
if it
here's
meant
my
Melissa
thing.
had
So
to
you
sit with him
could-
too, then let
No,
her
but
sit.
here's what you could do if you were smart about it. You'd make it a grown-ups table, and it would only be
Because all those kids, like,
Louis'
get along.
sister and not the little kids.
Yeah.
So you put Melissa with her kids at a table, and maybe Louis' let's just say his sister has a husband, like at a table with their kids at a table. So then you could just say it was just meant to be siblings, like blood relatives there. That's an easy way to clear it up.
Yeah.
But it's not. My
And
favorite.
to think that
what?
she doesn't ask the brother to walk her down the aisle, I really think is insane. That's like, I can't.
Did
believe
anybody?
No, she walked down by herself. I can't believe that. Like, I think that's just.
You know what? If I was Joe, I'd actually probably say no because that hair that she had would make him look so short that I'd be
Oh my
like,
God, he would.
right? Like he would look really tiny next to her that I would actually have to politely decline.
Because she's taller than him.
I think so. Yeah,
I think so. Could you imagine? Oh my God.
But like the hair adds a whole nother foot onto her. But the best part while they're doing this is behind Melissa
Yeah, I
and
know,
Joe
you're
while they're
like-
talking,
you're like,
they
"What
just
is
had
that?"
like 3-stage Louis Vuitton boxes. Because in my head, it's like to them, it's just like they're
but
not
not
rich,
like,
rich.
It's the box.
It's the box that
like,
came with the purse. Like the
that
purse came in.
Yeah, they like
Yeah.
saved the box. I mean, which you should save the box and keep it in the duster in the box, but
No, it was
No,
just like the
it's-
3
she had them
boxes
set
were like
up.
on
Yeah,
display.
like it's just like on
like
display,
it's
on display.
oh my god, no, but it's just like them trying to flex what they
I know,
have.
yeah, it
Why
was
not?
weird.
You know?
It was weird. I don't get that.
No, I know some people do that, but it's like, all right, do we need to? I mean, why don't you just walk around with the Louis Vuitton purse or whatever?
Yeah, that would be
Because she probably sold it on Poshmark. Imagine, imagine you did that. Imagine you bought things, then sold them on
I
Poshmark,
just
but you
want
just
them
kept
to
the
get in
boxes.
this house so I can see what this new house looks like. Because from the old house that I remember that they bought and they were taking down, I mean, it's like supposed to be like night and day. The new house.
you know what? We just got to see it before potentially Melissa gets kicked off the show. Like I can see people trying to root her off this season.
I can too.
So we got to see that house before.
Well, the show the Tamara and Teddy, the two peas in a pod that I listened to,
Teas in a pod.
2 teas in a pod. They were saying that either somebody needs to leave or something needs to happen because the Teresa and Melissa drama, everybody is saying, is enough already.
Well, it's so funny.
It's old. It's boring. It's like, let it go.
I accidentally clicked on Tamara's live, and she said that they think that they want to just at least see it play out before they decide who goes.
Yeah.
Like, we shouldn't decide right now who goes. Like, let the fans see it play out.
Like Teddy was like, I don't think either one of them should go because I think it won't work if one of them are gone. Like, I think it would just be. But I think Teresa would fight with anybody. So I think she
Teresa
would be fine.
Melissa doesn't really fight with anybody.
And they
that
said
much.
they feel like there's such a great divide in the group now that even though, because they're like, why so many women? And they're like, well, because there's such a great divide between the two sides that there's actual team, there's teams.
It built it up to split them into teams, and then it can break down that team.
Like how you were saying, they brought this one in for that one.
Yeah,
and this
for
one in
sides.
For that one.
But here's the thing: it is kind of like, would the team, even if you just removed Melissa, would the show go back to, flowing enough where there could be like little fights? Not really. You'd have to get rid of Jennifer too. I think Jennifer would have to go as well because Melissa and Dolores will never truly be okay with like Teresa and them if she's sticking up with Jennifer. So I think you'd have to remove Jennifer and Melissa, but I know they'd probably be hesitant to remove Jennifer because she causes so much drama.
She's real.
But
dramatic.
I still think like Teresa could come up with a fight out of anywhere. I mean, maybe demote Jennifer to a friend of instead, so she could still stir up drama. But she's not there 100% of the time that the group.
Well, I feel like Jackie's already getting ousted because she wasn't invited to certain things, and some of the new girls don't seem to like her because I guess she kind of came a little aggressive at them with some things that she said. Like, I don't know, she was telling the one girl like, "Oh, you're not looking at me when you talk to me." Like that's usually gets social cues or something like in that first one or something. And then she doesn't invite her because she points out that she saw her and felt her a couple of times, like looking her up and down and stuff. Yeah. I mean, they did show a clip of her doing that, but like, I don't know if she was really doing that, but I mean, I know Jackie could be a little petty, but I don't know. But then Jennifer Aiden does have Danielle over, which, did you notice that the doorbell rang before they reached the steps?
No.
The doorbell rings. This is like where like, I'm thinking, God, you people gotta cut better. You hear the doorbell ring, the daughter goes to the door, the son's standing there with an umbrella going, oh, I hope they have an umbrella. Meanwhile, they're already answering the door, and she's coming up the stairs with the umbrella. I did notice
he was saying, I hope they have an umbrella, but like they're already
at the stairs. But meanwhile, they're already answering the door because it rang. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, well, how did that happen? I don't know, unless you bring it at the gate.
No, it just might have been. So. It just might have been.
I'm sure it was like an editing thing.
It's like that favorite clip of mine where they make Melissa look back at the drama, but if you pay attention, you can see her hair would never flip back over her shoulder. Yeah. It's one of my favorites and biggest mistake. I don't know. Maybe New Jersey editors got to pull it together or something.
You said something else showed up. Remember?
There was some. I think it was
cameraman.
Oh, what?
Oh no, that was Wizards.
Oh yeah, we were watching Wizards of Waverly Place, and there was a cameraman.
But you could see all the cars in Jennifer's driveway that did not belong to these people, that they belonged to like the crew because they were like olden cars. I saw when the girl was coming up the driveway.
Well, yeah, when you look at Dolores' boyfriends,
I'm like, whose cars
parking
are all
lot,
those? I'm like, sorry, those are all not. Well, yeah,
because they probably don't even have like street parking. You don't know what the times could be there. Could get screwed. You have to remember that. But I mean, Jennifer has such a huge spot. Then just let them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it matters, but. So she comes over for the play date, and I could see these two hitting it off for sure. Yeah, I could see them hitting it off, and then I think it's just turning at each other.
Yeah, depend on how far this Jennifer thing goes with everybody else. Like, how will that play out?
So to me, this Jennifer thing too. Also, this is where I feel like we got the real storyline. I feel they're going to home in and just beat it into the ground about this girl Lori, friends of Marge, contacting Teresa and Jennifer Aiden.
Which it's always like somebody contacted somebody on the off season of filming. Always, like that's always the fight. The fights are always something that is happening off season.
Yeah, she acts like she contacted them and said, "I have all this information on Marge. But see, I just don't understand, like, why she's not, like, what all of a sudden, like, Marge didn't really kind of address why this girl's not talking to her.
Yeah.
She just said she decided to turn on her.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
So,
maybe
and
unless
they
it was
showed
just,
her. Did you see?
they showed
she
her in
was on
past
the
clips,
show.
but maybe
Yeah.
maybe she felt like Marge wasn't getting her enough screen time, like
I
she
don't know, maybe
wanted
she
or
wanted to be
something.
on-
So maybe
Which
she
I'm
figured
sure
if
you're gonna do this, then
you definitely want a spot on the show.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, Jennifer Aden's like, well, I'm not going to be like that. Like how, where they did accuse her last year of digging into multiple different things. Like, what's his name? Jackie's husband's thing. They said she dug into that.
Yeah, she's basically saying, I won't say it unless I'm forced to say it.
Yeah.
Which, of course, means you are going to say it.
But just the fact that they brought it up, and she brought it up when she said to Teresa, did she mention the girl Lori? But the best part was, see, this is why I love Danielle. Because Danielle's like, they're like, do you want to know what was said amongst them? And she's like, hell yeah, don't you want to know? Like, you know, like a normal person would be like, yeah, I want to know. And then she's sitting there like, waiting, thinking they're going to share it with her.
Yeah,
and
she's
she
just
didn't.
sitting there like,
because I think she's waiting. She's buying her time. The sad part is, I hope that whatever Jennifer is saying is true, that she's not going to share it, because I did feel bad for her when she met up with Marge, because Marge was kind of railroading her and not listening to her, what she was trying to say. Like, listen, I had no intention of saying anything. Yeah, I met up with her because I was curious, or I wanted, you know, like, she could have even said, if she was smart, I wanted to see what kind of stuff she was going to give up on you so I could let you know this is what she's going around telling people. Because what if, like, they're like, no, and then they try to move on. She tries to move on to someone else. Yeah, like, true. At least you know what the kind of stuff is.
Or she could have also said, like, this woman just kept badgering me until I met her, so I just met with her so I could just be done with it and get over, like, so she could leave me alone. Like, I was never going to do anything with
it. But I think after seeing the fight at Danielle's house between Dolores and Marge and Jennifer, this is going to be the big storyline now, where it's going to be like, she's digging, thought the friendship was genuine, it's not, it's disingenuine, and all this kind of stuff. And I think,
and then it's going to be like the same thing with like Kathy Hilton, where like they're holding the secret over our head the whole time, and then when it gets, or either when they tell us, it's going to be like nothing. Yep, it's going to be like boring.
Because I'm like, what could this lady really have on Marge? Like, she's pretty out there. She really doesn't hide too much.
What did the woman with pigtails do? Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what she could.
I hit my blister, my finger. That hurt like a
But we finally get to see a little bit of Rachel. Then they go to Rachel's house, and we finally get to see Rachel.
Can I just point something out here? You wrote we see a little bit about Raquel.
I know. Raquel.
What is this is like the opposite of Selena plus Chef.
Raquel.
You're calling Raquel's Rachel's, but Rachel's Raquel.
And I knew it did it, and I just didn't feel like changing it. I just left it. Nice little family. Yeah. It was a little confusing at first, I'm not gonna lie, because, you know, they come in, they show this older boy, and then they show these two little babies, basically, because one's like infantile and the other one's barely out of that stage, and like dad's carrying both of them, which I thought was pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm like, okay, who is all this? And then she explains that that's her stepson, and the only reason she calls him stepson, she would never normally, is because people will pick on her for her age, which I can understand that. Yeah. So she says, it's just easier for me to, like, explain it. I mean, and then that's pretty much it.
Yeah, my favorite thing about that whole thing, I don't know what they were eating. I couldn't figure it out. Burgers.
But
they had everything. Every condiment out of the table.
After you said that to me, you're like,
they had They had, like, mustard. They had barbecue sauce. They had ketchup. They had everything you could think of.
But you also must be one of those people, because like the little daughter was asking for like cheese, and it seemed like it was on a plate or something. So they must be people that like put everything out on the table, like the cheese, the pickles,
like pick and choose.
Like everything was out there.
Typically the cheese is grilled on the burger though.
I don't understand. So unless she put extra chease on the table, because the kid he definitely had a cheeseburger. That kid. Oh, I could go for a cheeseburger. I'm sorry. Oh, I haven't had like a cheeseburger. Like a burger with cheese. Hence cheeseburger. Okay. It's just too expensive. And then there you go. Scene done. It was a discussion about the kid's cell phone, and boom. Yeah, that's all we're going to get.
It was just like a little introduction. I guess there wasn't much to say with her.
I know, but we got a lot more with the other one, I felt. Didn't you?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's why I think the other one to me is going to be more interesting. That's just me.
Yeah, but I guess the thing is really like, when you think about it, like the little kids don't have much to give off because they're little. Like they're not the same age as Danielle's kids. So the only one is like this stepson, and that's kind of what she delved into. She didn't have
And then Margaret has all the ladies over except for Danielle, Teresa, and Jennifer, which I'm not really sure why they didn't come. She didn't really say if she invited them or didn't invite them, or like I'm not really sure why they weren't there.
I don't know. I mean, she probably just didn't want drama.
I think she just didn't invite them because, I think...
I would assume no drama.
And I think because she did make a comment and shared with the ladies, like, during this, like, little afternoon tete-a-tete, whatever. She had a little food, little whatever, and they were playing a little word game answer question thing. She did mention about the girl.
Yeah, so maybe that was that. She must have knew that they were talking.
Together
she didn't
so
want
they could talk about it. But I don't think any of these women have a 9-to-5 job at all. They can't possibly.
Why would you even assume that? No, none of them have.
Because this is clearly the afternoon.
They're housewives. They're not even supposed to have jobs, though.
No,
if they're going by traditional housewife standards.
I guess, yeah.
But where are the kids?
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. If you're a housewife, where are the kids?
I
guess her kids are in school. I guess all
all
the kids are in school.
Yeah.
Oh, stomach said burger.
You know what I noticed, though? With this one specifically? I was looking Melissa up and down, okay? I was pulling a Jackie. I was looking Melissa up and down. I go, why does Melissa always look like she has the same outfit on? Does she not always look like she has roughly the same outfit on? I swore I saw her in the same exact outfit at this Marge's party from the one where she was talking with Joe with the Louis Vuitton boxes. I just feel like she always has some kind of similar outfit on.
Well, it could have been that. That could have been the same.
I guess it could have been
the same day.
I mean, I didn't go back to look.
Like, who's to know how they cut it? Like, that scene with
Yeah.
Joe could have been the day that she was going there, and maybe they just figured, oh, she'll throw a jacket on or something, and it'll... I don't know.
I don't know, but I just still, in general, I feel like Melissa wears the same thing. I mean, I guess it's her style or something, but...
No, I think she is very plain sometimes. Like, I think she's just
like
a tank and jeans,
yeah,
and white jeans
white,
or something.
She wears like
she
whites
wears
and
jeans.
tans.
She wears white jeans a lot.
That's what it is. It's like white and tan, and that's like her two colors that she wears. And I just think it looks like she's wearing the same outfit all the time, but I just think it's like the same colors, I guess, is more so.
So,
for me though, the biggest thing out of this party was that Jackie said Jennifer is more dangerous than Teresa. And I have to agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
Because Teresa really won't fight with you unless you start messing with her. She
if
hears
you don't pick
grumbling.
on her, where this one is just a
Jennifer
live
will
cannon. It's like, ooh, wind blew left, let's go.
She just hears her, she's like...
she's really like, I agree.
Like a piece of your hair is sticking up the wrong way. She's like, let's go right now. You and me.
She doesn't seem to have a problem like to get in with anybody, but I mean, God bless her. And then they show my favorite, Dolores. I really, really like Dolores, and I especially like the way Dolores is dressing this season.
Oh yeah, I can't remember what she had on.
Where was she wearing? Oh, at Marge's, she had this like little wrap dress kind of thing, but it was like above her knee, and like it was very colorful, and like there was a pretty pattern on it. It's just she's been dressing very age appropriate, but still looks like cute, sassy, and and whatnot. But it was age appropriate. Like, where nothing that she's worn so far, I'm like, she shouldn't have that on. Yeah. Some of them, shouldn't. Even Jennifer, I'm sorry, that yellow dress she wore to Marge's, take that off. Because that was, it was like, had ribbing up the side. It was just bad. It was just bad all the way around. I don't know. I was like, They finally show a little bit of Paulie.
Yeah, this is more of like an introduction compared to the party.
His house. I do like him. I like her with him.
Yeah.
I really was one of those, Dolores Frank fan,
Yeah.
I really wanted them.
A little bit.
Yeah, I did. I wanted them together, but listen, I know about cheaters and they never change. So she is right to just move it on and keep it moving because...
But the best part is when you really think about it, he's like, he wants to keep the family together. Then wouldn't you remain single and not be dating a 33-year-old right now?
He's still pining for her, but meanwhile he's, got like a little chippy on the side. Okay, well then if you're pining for her, then you pine for her. You don't like have a girlfriend on the side. Like, it doesn't...
If you want more family time, then you just have to make sure you schedule that out. Because I'm sure the guy would be fine if he was like, I'd love to have like one Friday night dinner once a month.
No,
I
don't think that seems to be his problem. I think his problem is that he's trying to be there, like, take care of Dolores in every way. And this guy's like, no, I'm here now. I can do it for you. Yeah. Like, that's my point. He's like, but his place is really, really, really nice.
Rolls Royce out in the front.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell does this guy do? Because it was this long granite, like, island, and, like, everything on every wall
were like glass,
it was
open.
I don't even know how to explain it.
I think he had like a wine bottle like rack
wall though, but it was like a
wall.
But then he had, like you said too, like these weird like screens that had like digital stuff. I don't know.
It was like an iPad on the wall, but it looked like it was like recommending like a show or something. Not like, hey, you want to change your temperature in the house?
I don't know. It was insane.
Yeah. I mean, I have to assume he lives in New Jersey, but like where do you live in that?
I think he's somewhere in like Hoboken, probably Weehawken area. I think for sure he's got to be down in those areas because I don't know. That's just wow. We could probably find him really easy, but that house was nice on the inside and.
I don't know if
well, sadly, I think so, Polly.
But, they do really show big shots of outside their house.
Which I think is so weird. They show the houses of everybody.
Yeah.
Like, not just New Jersey, like everybody. But here's the thing,
at least when you think of OCs, they're in the gates, Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, like we found Sonia's house, the townhouse.
Yeah, but that's really easy because she also did put it up on, like...
Yeah, but we found it before that.
No, I know. It's very easy.
Like, there was a lot
Bethany's,
of stuff.
we've driven through New York.
The Wans, when she first lived in New York, we found that
they're really...
The Wans we stumbled upon on accident.
I'm sure if we tried, we could probably find New Jersey's as well. But
I think so, without a doubt. I just thought they were cute together.
Yeah.
I definitely shipped them, and I hope they stay together because she just looked real happy. Mm-hmm. Like, she even said, like, I'm one of those corny people that now that I used to tell were corny and you need to stop it. She was cute.
Yeah.
So then you see everybody receiving, you were making fun of it, everybody receiving the invitation for Teresa.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, everybody's opening theirs and Jennifer Aiden is still like hobbling down the stairs to get
in. Yeah, like they have it like split screen and she's just like, getting down the stairs and they're all like, oh my God, look how beautiful. She's just like, click, to click, to click. Uh-oh, I'm dying. Yeah, my thing's gonna die, so we gotta... And then she comes in and tells all the girls, well, she sends one to Melissa too, which I thought was very nice. I thought that was, nice. I guess they're not going, though. But they thought that, like, Louis was going to be their saving grace. And I did, too. Yeah. And partly I do think he helps her, like, when she talks with Marge in the other episode. Like, he keeps her, like, let's not do this, let's not do that. Well, here's the thing. So then they said they blame him. But everybody's already said this, Dolores included, that there's really no coming back if the parents aren't here. Yeah. But what happened was, I don't think he is like the negative. I just think he happened to come at the same around time as her losing losing her last parent. So of course it makes him look like the bad guy. Where it's kind of just like
they look like they're gonna have like something serious during this season somewhere. Him and
I think it's next week.
I think they're supposed to be something big. Yeah, but see, I'm nervous because, like, not that I want it to be a fight, but they're doing that banging on the table, Joe, and acting like it's going to be great. And then I'm like, I don't think it's going to be. I
don't know. Joe Gorga doesn't... He'll throw down.
I don't know.
Still want to see somebody get hit. I know I shouldn't condone violence like that, but it's mostly Melissa. She's always so close to punching somebody, and I'm just like, go for it, Melissa.
But I like how they show that scene where he gets Gorga with his hand.
Oh, that was so good. That's our favorite.
Flashback for us where, you get Gorga, because he was talking about the bad seed, Joe Giudice, nice.
Yeah, I would love that. I think that's probably one of my favorite New Jersey. I know a lot of people are at the table.
Where did this black stuff come from? Why do we have it all over us?
It's Joe Giudice walking in saying, "You better do it," and then bam, Joe Gorga just trucking him
all over the
and getting the black hair all over everything and everyone.
He had like a white sweatshirt.
And then Teresa's walking out, and Melissa's like, "Help! Help your husband!"
Oh, that was so good. That was a good scene.
And then there's Kathy Wakili in the back, like just looking around, and they're all like lost and confused. It's really just that one is more classic than the table.
Considering they were up there for a retreat,
to help them make it all together. I mean, come on,
the counselors were like flipping out. That's a good rewatch. So then they end up at Danielle's house. A cute house. I know she doesn't want us to call it cute.
I'm sorry. I keep confusing Danielle and Rachel.
One.
I know.
I liked her house. Like, I thought her house was nice on the inside and the out. I liked it. It was just enough house for me.
No, but the best part was you even pointed this out. She said, I don't want anybody to call my house cute because I know what that means. Yeah. And you said that's definitely like an OC thing.
You said it, that you think they watch the seasons, and I think she does.
Yeah, because that was the whole thing with Gina, was that they called her house cute and small and all that.
And she made a comment saying, if they call my house cute, and then reference it that it's small, which means she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
She's a well-versed housewife that has watched and knows how to play it.
Dolores walks in and first thing is like, oh my God, it's so cute.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, well, here we go. But I thought her idea for an event was very cute.
Yeah.
Or not cute, but interesting, like a mozzarella party. And they called it like a mozzarella making memories or something. I guess that's the two guys that did it. That was a neat idea. I don't feel like they got to make much mozzarella.
I don't think they made anything. I think they just put the spatula
up and pulled it.
The guy did a
demonstration and
because you could tell they were taking pictures.
Yeah.
The way they were smiling, that someone was
like
at the end of the table.
He did the demonstration, and then he let them like hold it, rip off pieces, But I'm sorry, this was like probably my most favorite like event of the whole night, because Teresa arrives, tells the girls what Ramona did.
Oh my god, her laptop died.
Oh god, it's all right. I know what I'm talking about.
All right.
I know where I'm at here.
Yeah,
with it. Oop, I'm so sorry,
heavens.
everyone. That was really bad. So when Teresa arrives, she tells them what happened. That
My favorite, Ramona spoiled the whole wedding.
Put it on Instagram, and I never saw that clip, so they kind of showed a little bit of it.
I saw it live. Like, I actually screenshotted her story. Remember when they dropped the location?
See it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I saw it live.
So when we heard what the location was, we've heard of this place as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very well known place that if you live in New Jersey, you know it.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been hard to find. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So she, I guess, had to figure out how to.
It was more so. It was less of the location. It was the password that you had to log in and give your RSVP. Like you were going on some website.
Because I think do they drive everybody in on a bus? Was it that type of thing too? I don't know. Like sometimes, sometimes to not say to not show the location, like, or have people be followed, they drive them in. They have them park somewhere else and they bust them in. Yeah.
I don't think it was like that. I think it was just, this was mostly not, I mean, listen, the location probably would have got leaked anyway to paparazzi, so that she probably didn't even care. I think it was mostly her issue was this password, because that's what she said, and they were like,
I heard
we'll just issue it. Because she's not going to like change the whole location.
No, I don't think so.
It was just this password that you were going through and, sending RSVP, which is better, I think, doing it online.
Maybe the password was to get you like into the venue or something.
No,
to know the password.
To get into the thing where you were saying I'm coming or I'm not coming and things like that. It probably would honestly I think it was like the access to her wedding site. So whatever it may be.
I don't know. It was interesting though. But so I mean that was like
what the hell was that?
I think it was a sneeze.
It
out in the
like
hallway.
They sneezed and dropped to the floor.
Maybe you never know. Sometimes
took them out.
Sneezes could take me down. I think they were slamming their door. But I think she kind of downplayed that more than I thought she was going to.
Well, now we know today that she is a little bit more upset just because Ramona did all this and then didn't show up. Well, which I think is the best part about it.
Have you noticed, though, that Dolores Catania has been on time and the first one for everything?
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Maybe that was her New Year's
She was,
goal.
I don't know. Well, I think she was always punctual. She was the first one at the roller skating rink. She was the first one at Marge's house. I know that was like her event, though. She was the first one at this event. She was the first one at another event. What was
Marge's party with the girls, all the girls but Teresa and Jennifer?
I think so. I think she was the first one for that. So she's been pretty much on time. She was the first one there, then Teresa showed up.
It's always better, especially if you're going to have these kind of fights with ladies, you should be the first one in there, because now you're putting it in their position where they're walking in, greeting everybody, so now you have them to come.
And that's exactly what happened. They brought Jennifer. Danielle told her, listen, Jennifer, I invited all the girls. Jennifer's coming. Are you okay? Can you put it aside for making some memories or whatever? And she's like, listen, I'll be cordial, which is what this guy has been also helping her. Like, I think they all have good background people. He's telling her, like, be the bigger person. Don't let her get to you. Don't let her make you show, like, any kind of anything. So I think he's going to be a good influence for her, too. But she comes, little Miss Aiden. All the troubles. They announce her in, and all of a sudden you hear, like, huffs and puffs. And the best thing that I loved about this party was, I think you noticed it, too. They're going back and forth over this. And then I guess somehow along the line that Rachel girl brings up that something Jennifer said and brings up the whole Marge story again, and Marge is like, let's not go back, blah, blah, blah. But every time somebody says something, Jennifer F.
is sneaking a little cheese.
I'm on this side. Forget about the cheese.
Sorry,
we're going to touch the cheese. Yeah, we're going to touch on that.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God, she's my kind of gal. She's...
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't know that worked when I had it in focus mode and quiet mode.
Oh, look, so phone's going off now.
Whoopsie.
She flip-flopped. Like, 1 minute she's with Dolores, she's like, yeah, I can see that. Then she's like, bah, bah, bah,
I did say that because the only thing I cleared up was that the fact that I think she took Teresa and Jennifer's side, and then Marge or Dolores explained it, and she took her side. And she's like,
I can see that.
Makes more sense.
She's like, yeah,
but
I can see that.
she didn't switch again, so I think it was just more of like,
I think it was just the one side.
Because
but then she tried to come in and be like, all like, I don't know, fixy. But yeah, through the whole argument between Dolores
Yeah,
and
no, from it going
Dolores
from
who?
no, but from it going from Marge and Jennifer, then from Jennifer
Yes.
to Dolores, she was just popping some cheese.
Hey,
Like,
whose
this is
sandwich?
delicious.
Whose sandwich is that? Whose sandwich is that? And Melissa's like, oh, it's mine. She's like, it's got mustard on it? Yeah, it's delicious. Yeah, it's delicious. She's shoving in a second sandwich. Then you see her, she goes over. Teresa and Dolores and like Jennifer were kind of like in it. And she tries to go over and give like a little bit of advice. And Dolores was very nice about it. She's like, Jennifer, this is not the time for, or she said her whole name. I forget that Faust or whatever. I forget what the last name
No,
is.
she didn't. She doesn't call her Jennifer. She calls her by her last name.
No, she said Jen something.
Oh, I thought she
But
called her by her last name.
She said, but I think she said Jen.
Fisker,
Yeah. She says, this is not the time nor the place, but I appreciate it. Like, she was nice about it. So she just, bloop, bow faces, go gets more cheese. I see her shoving more cheese in. Did you see that? I'm just like, this girl's like, all right, screw you, cheese.
No,
like,
this
holy crap.
had a lot of fights because it really bounced. It bounced from Marge to
I didn't
Marge
really
and
think
Jennifer,
Marge was fighting fair, though. I gotta be honest.
Jennifer to Dolores, but Dolores, my favorite. They made it. The cut was perfect because right before they go to commercial, they have Dolores stand up and turn in that water like, oh, she's about to go all
right,
Patterson on her.
We said,
but
you
no.
know she's going, and then she just gets up, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
But then that fight bopped.
That's what
then
I'm afraid
Teresa
the Joe
got-
Gorgas thing is going to
well,
do, where
yeah.
you see him slamming the table like, boop, 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 like he's going to come for you.
But then it ended with Teresa and Melissa fighting again.
I'm like,
squeeze
oh
that one in there.
my God. But I am glad Melissa is really fighting back now.
Yeah.
Like, before she'd say
Because
stuff,
I
but
think
now
she gets
she's
it,
really
because
saying
she
stuff.
gets
She's over
that-
it.
Well, that's the thing. She's like, there's no point.
Now she's over
and
it.
it's always going to be Melissa's fault. And I think she's got that now. Like, no matter what she
Because that's what
says
she's
or
like.
does,
She's
it will
like,
be
oh,
Melissa's
I see.
fault.
It's my fault. It's my fault. That's my fault.
Yeah.
Because this happened. That's my fault.
So if it's always going to be your fault, then then you should just
But I'm glad
hurl
she's
the
calling,
truth as hard as you
yeah,
can at
I'm
her.
glad she's calling her out, like, because Teresa's given her little, like you said, oh, but I'm all about family. Don't say you're all about family, because you're not. She's not all about family. She's a liar. She's not all about
Then
family.
you'll be doing anything to make it better with your brother.
Yep. She'd be like, listen, let's split the hairs. You don't like me. I don't like you. That's cool, but we need to be around each other because I want to be around my brother. But she doesn't.
And the other thing too is she always the party. She was like, "You guys were supposed to be at my table." Yeah, a lot of things could be supposed to be.
Yeah.
But why didn't you get up and go to
fix it. Just
Melissa
fix
and them
it.
and say, "Hey, bring your chairs over to my table." They
fix
didn't
it.
set enough
She
chairs.
Didn't,
Come over.
she didn't
No.
fix it, and that's
But
the
there
problem.
also must have been somewhere that said that Joe and Melissa are sitting at the table because why would they just go sit at that
Wait,
table?
but here's my thing. I'm so sorry. My stomach still wants the burger. It's making noises now. The thing that got me, though, was she comes over with this, I'm going to have open seating.
Yeah.
Who has open seating at a wedding? That's the last
But the best
place
part
you
is
do
they all
no
go.
seating
They
cards.
go.
They're
Actually,
all
that's
like,
a really good
yeah.
idea. That's a good idea.
Because last time you had problems. But
But
who
don't
does
you
that?
need seating cards? Because isn't that where they tell the
Kinda.
people that's where they go with each food that like if you got like the thing?
Yeah, that too. Unless she did some kind of buffet. Maybe she did
Yeah,
a
she did
buffet. I don't know
buffet,
for
I don't
that
know.
kind of amount of people. But because sometimes if you do have that high of people, they will say like you either need to have like no choice. You do like a surf and turf where they get a beef and a lobster. Like you just because I think that's what my brother did. I think they did surf and turf. You didn't get a choice. Like you just got steak and lobster.
Yeah, and then you just say
And that
whatever
was
you
that.
wanted.
Yeah, and that was that. So, like, and if you do that, then you're covering your bases because otherwise you don't, But so they could have done something like that, but I don't know. So we'll see.
I mean, open seating is not a horrible idea for her wedding because she will have a lot of other housewives from franchises.
Yeah.
Where it's like if you let's just say she had one from each franchise, you don't know who they might want to sit with. Where like would they want to sit with the rest of the New Jersey girls, or should you put all the franchises like in one? Like it is kind of hard because she does have like a weird.
It was weird.
Like group. I will say overall, Danielle and Rachel do feel very promising, but I am entirely scared to get behind a new girl again. After what happened with
like
Leah
Danielle.
in New York.
I know.
It
But I
makes
don't
me
think
scared
I
with
don't
her.
think this one's gonna be like that. This Danielle, I think she's gonna be
No, I know.
like.
Who would have thought that from? I mean, maybe Leah was a little more aggressive.
You know what's funny though is when I see the new people come on, I never think too much of them. Like I'm always like, I don't know. Like I remember Ziggy, and apparently, that
Soggy.
girl. That was the other thing. That girl Jen F Marge met her through Ziggy.
Soggy flicker.
Yep. But I just can't. Like I think of those girls, and I'm like,
No, nothing.
I know I thought they were not going to be good for the show, but I don't know. These two, I think they might be.
Yeah.
The one is very young, but I think she might add something to it by being so young. Like, I think she might bring something to the table that will, unless they're trying to do that to shake it up and to push people out. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, of
Get
course.
you out.
They're always putting young girls in to push them out. OC, Gina is, here's the thing. They have to go with a little bit older for OC because they did have, like, at the time, like, Vicky and all of them, and they were older. So they had to find, like, a middle ground where now if they kind of booted more out. Like, now with the cast that they have in OC, if they get rid of Heather, which it's possible since she did move.
Yeah.
But if they got rid of Heather, Tamara can still play young, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Shannon will still play young. So if you got them, you could probably push in a 30-year-old now with them.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how old Noella was.
I think she was in that, like, early 30s.
Yeah, so she...
Either 30 or
she
maybe,
wasn't horrible, Noella, so...
No, but she was really...
She was a little...
She was drama.
But, But see, New York, they went too young, too quick. They needed somebody in, like, their 40s-ish, not Leah. Leah was too young.
No, and they left her with all those old ladies.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't give her
Garcelle
anybody.
was not that kind of young. You know what I mean? Like, so they gave her, like, no out.
Yeah. Crystal's the youngest in Beverly
Hills.
Hills.
Crystal's like what you're saying. Like, she's the same way. Like, she's young age-wise, but she's not... Like, she's
more mature.
Yeah, she doesn't do young things. Like, she does housewifey things, and because she's a housewife, I don't know.
Leah was young, kind of purdy-ish kind of thing, which you gotta be careful.
She never kid all the time, so she would get the breaks to do whatever she wanted and to act like a fool. So it's like kind of, I don't know, weird. Yeah. But I don't remember where it ended. It just ended like that with them having that fight.
Yeah, I think it just ended at the party. Yeah.
So it'll probably pick up there, or the next day, or something like that, probably.
All right, well, I think that's all for...
Oh, there's nothing left to talk about. We kind of covered it.
We even gave you a little insight on other housewives.
Well, I will say, like we were saying, I do feel like they're easy to cover because they are moving in, like, a nice timeline order where, like, we were saying OC was, like, so-and-so was here, and so-and-so was there, and so-and-so was here. I think it's also because of the way they're grouping up. I do think that makes it easier.
They're able to, even though they have a big cast, they still can group up in, like, threes.
Yeah, big enough
where
groups.
Like Beverly Hills can only really do 2 and occasionally do a 3 kind of thing, but it's really kind of depends. Where I think OC will not have that issue because I think they'll take Tamara and Shannon and they can take Taylor and put her in there, and then you'll have like Gina and Emily and like Heather in like a group. So I think they'll break up into nice groups as well. So I don't think we'll have that issue with them.
Yeah.
Either. I just think Beverly Hills is a mess.
They just got to get that going. Oh.
I know. Like, what the hell? What are they waiting for? Heather Dubrow? Hopefully. That's got to be our only hope.
Heather Dubrow. Heather Dubrow has a button that she presses to have people bring champagne to her in her closet. I'd be like, hit that button all damn day.
Okay, thank you for the fun fact. What was that?
She doesn't have that closet, I guess, anymore because she moved.
No, she sold it. Nope. Doesn't have that.
Oh, well.
All right, but that is all. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching. If you liked the episode, give us hopefully a good rating.
Yeah.
And if you're on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Don't give us a thumbs down. Instead, leave a comment telling us how we can improve. Make sure you subscribe, follow, and turn on notifications so you don't miss an episode. We also did mention on our Kaleidoscope episode that we were going to do 80 for Brady on our Monday episode. But we are going to push it back, and we're going to wait till Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin's next movie comes out in like March-ish. It's moving on.
Looked really good.
So we're going to do like a double feature for them. So that will be then. But this Monday will be Ant-Man, and I think it's just Ant-Man and Quantumania. I don't know. Whatever. The new Ant-Man.
It's not Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I don't know if it's Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. That sounds better to me than Ant-Man and Quantumania.
I think it's
Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
I think so. I thought that's what it was all the whole time.
Let's just go with this Ant-Man and the Wasp. Whatever. Either way, we're doing the third Ant-Man movie. So that will be up on Monday instead to replace 80 for Brady. And then next week after that, Outer Banks.
Outer Banks. Yeah, my skin is still so soft. I bought new lotion. Oil Valet. I highly recommend it. It's really soft. No?
Yes. All right, say it, please.
Hit the button. I'm really tired now.